Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. This is your first visit. My name is Matt Samulski. I'm Matt the Car Guy. On this channel I do car reviews, and this is a 2021 Mazda CX-5. Thanks to the good folks at Howard Mazda in Sarasota, Florida, they allowed me to film this vehicle. While this is not a brand new, completely redesigned model, it certainly is one of Mazda's best-selling vehicle. Introduced back in 2012 and then redesigned for the 2016 model. It's actually due for redesign, and the rumors are it's coming out for 2022 or 2023, and there's going to be some major changes. But before that happens, I wanted to take this opportunity and see what makes it so special. So I want to take you on the tour of this vehicle. We're going to check out the exterior, interior. We're going to jump inside of it, and finally I'm going to take it for a spin. So if you're ready, let's go. Alright guys, we're going to start talking about this Mazda CX-5 in just a little bit, but let me tell you about the history of this model. So CX-5 was introduced in 2012 and then partially redesigned 2016 and a half, which is basically this model right here. Now this is a 2021, but that remained unchanged since the major redesign back in 2016. Now it's due for a redesign. The new ones, the spy photos, are all over the internet right now. Nobody really knows what it's going to be, if it's going to be called CX-5, CX-50. Supposedly it's going to be more luxurious, but I really wanted to take a look at this outgoing model because it's one of the top selling Mazdas in the country. It's so well selling that if you take a look around, I dare you, take a look around and see if you can pass a day without seeing one on the road. Now that is because in the last few years they were selling a massive 150,000 vehicles, give or take a few thousand a year for North American market alone. So that's a lot of vehicles. It certainly competes with vehicles like RAV4, CR-V, Kia Sportage, Hyundai Tucson. That's about the same category. So I've done a few of those, so you can check out the rest of my channel and see if there's anything that you like on it as far as the Tucson, as far as the CR-V, RAV4, and check it out. So let's jump right into the front of this vehicle. Long hood, very nice, plain, two body lines only, one on each side. The hood is so long and it kind of extends over this grille right here. Now you can see this glass Mazda logo right in front, very pronounced, very visible. That's where a lot of that sensing technology hides for Mazda. That's the driver assist features. This is the radar for the adaptive cruise control, etc., etc. Now you can also see this chrome trim around it and this shiny black mesh grille on the inside. Now it's open, so it allows for the maximum airflow inside of the engine. At the bottom here you see a little bit of that matte black, and by the way, the color of this is called Snowflake White Pearl. So it's really nice color. I apologize, it's a little bit dusty. It's been a lot of dust and pollen in Florida this year, so that's why all the cars are getting it. As far as the lights, most of the Mazdas, if you've seen the CX-3, CX-5, CX-9, you see those lights are very narrow, very kind of sporty looking. And I have them on, so hopefully you can see it, because they start right on the side here with this LED strips and then you have this LED round light in here, as well as the daytime running light basically on the inside of here. Now I have the blinkers blinking so you see where they are, and guess what, it does have fog lights, but the fog lights are so tiny and small that it's very hard to see them. They are actually right here. They're probably about 1.5 inches, maybe tops in diameter, but as long as they're bright, that's all that matters. Now Mazda is available with 2 engine options. We're going to take a look at one right now. Well, all right guys, so let's talk about the engines. And there's 2 engine options available in the United States for the Mazda CX-5. Now before we get to it, let me just tell you that I don't really like that prop stack. It should have the hydraulic hood struts because the hood is big and heavy. Now as far as on the interior, you can see that it says Skyactiv G Turbo. Now this is the better engine, or this is the stronger engine that Mazda offers on the CX-5. That's basically a 2.5 liter dynamic pressure turbo dual overhead cam, 16 valve, 4-cylinder with variable valve timing. That is a mouthful. Now it produces 227 horsepower at 5,000 RPMs if you use the regular 87 octane fuel. Now if you bump it up to 93 octane, it is 250 horsepower. Torque also changes depending on the fuel. 310 pound-feet of torque with the regular, 320 with the premium gasoline. Now the other engine option that is available on this vehicle is also a 2.5 liter, but it's a non-turbo engine, and that produces 187 horsepower with the regular or premium gasoline. So that one doesn't really benefit from using a premium gasoline. Now as far as the transmission, they offer Skyactiv Drive 6-speed automatic transmission with manual shift mode on both of the engine options. So I'm excited because this engine, I checked out basically almost the same engine on the CX-9. I want to see what it does in the smaller vehicle. All right, let's really quickly take a look at the side profile of this vehicle. And there's really nothing crazy, nothing too special about it. 2 body lines, one right on top of here that kind of blends in the rest of this vehicle. It disappears right here. It's more pronounced towards the front. And then one at the bottom that goes throughout the rest of the vehicle. Now, it is the snowflake white pearl, but it does have a little bit of that cladding that not only goes around the wheel wells but goes around the bottom of this vehicle, kind of to help break this whiteness or whatever color you choose for the vehicle, kind of to break it up a little bit. Now this one is equipped with the 19-inch wheels. The base model comes with the 17s, but you can also upgrade it. I think it's a pretty nice size for the size of this vehicle. As a matter of fact, it's probably a little bit too big, but we'll see how it drives. The tires do have quite a bit of meat on them, so I think it's going to be nice and comfortable. As far as the rest of this, if you take a look at the mirror caps, they're color coordinated with the rest of the car. The thin stripe right here, this is basically your turn signals. Let me hit this lock button. When I do that, it locks, and you can do it without touching the key, but just by simply pressing this little button on the door handle, and that allows you to lock and unlock this vehicle. Okay, as far as the visibility, it should be okay. It does have a decent size windows, pretty straight roof line. This one is equipped with the roof rails but not crossbars. So we're gonna take a look in the back and then we're gonna jump inside. Well guys, so let's check out the back of this vehicle. We're going to start right with the lights because they're on before they're turned off. Let's take a quick look. LEDs right here that have this nice sporty, little bit of an aggressive styling, and very similar to the sporty Mazdas like the Miatas or the regular sedan series. They stick out quite a bit from the vehicle too, so this is an interesting feature. They kind of double serve it as maybe a spoiler or a piece of the aerodynamics for this vehicle. See, they're turned off already. Now as far as the middle on here, it does have the reverse light, and obviously the blinkers are right here. So as far as the back of it, the gate is sloped in here. I wonder if it's gonna kind of cut into that roominess on the inside. It has the big Mazda logo, CX-5. This one is an all-wheel drive version, and this one says Skyactiv G Turbo, which is the bigger engine. We just talked about that. And at the bottom here, you have some reflector lights, and you do have 2 exhaust tips. Now those are real exhaust. Those are not just for decoration. They're actually fully functional. let's open up the gate and let's see how much room there is on the inside. So I gotta tell you, as far as the length at the bottom, quite a bit. And I don't think that the gate being the way it is, you know, takes up too much room. Well, check it out yourself. Before you do that, let's take a look at the key that Mazda makes for this car. So it's a new Mazda key, basically no buttons. We've seen that on the Kias as well, just the Mazda logo on one side, and then the buttons are actually all on the side. That prevents you with accidentally sitting on the key or hitting any of the buttons in here. So what do we have here is lock on lock, hold for the panic button and hold for the gate. We just open it up, so it is a power gate. Let's see interior. All right, let's walk up to this. Now we do have, this one has some all-season floor mats that are right here. I wonder if there is a spare tire. Yeah, there is a spare tire right here. Now you can see it's a Bose marking on here. I wonder why that is. Maybe there's a subwoofer or something. The bass on this vehicle is amazing. I wish I could show you that as far as the bass on it. Now as far as the seats, look, they do have the 40-20-40, but you can also simply lay them down as the 60-40 split, and you can do that by basically pushing the lever on each side of the vehicle. You just got to make sure that the front seats are pulled all the way forward. Let me actually fold these down, and so you can see how much room there is in back. All right, so here it is. Here's with the seats down. As you can see, there's quite a bit of room. So if you need to help somebody move, well, maybe a small tiny studio apartment without the furniture, you can certainly fit in here, but definitely big enough if you're shopping for maybe a TV or even small appliances. All right, so let's see how much room we have in here. And I gotta tell you, it's so hot. I'm basically glistening. So 90 degrees, and it's in the morning. Anyways, there's quite a bit of room. I'm not saying quite a bit like, hey, you know, it's very spacious, but if we're a small compact SUV, it does have substantial room for a 6 foot tall adult to get in. Now if you're 6'1", you're gonna have an issue. So that's probably about the top as far as the height where you can get in and actually be comfortable. Now the seats, these seats don't adjust, they don't move back and forth. The only adjustment you have is the back reclines. Now I could sacrifice probably and move the front seat a little bit, but that's not the point of being comfortable, right? Interior, I gotta tell you, I like the interior of this car. It's called parchment interior, and it's parchment / black, so it's a two-tone. Well, let me show you this. Well, starting right from the door here, you can see nicely leather wrapped door, and this is the parchment color that I was telling you about. Again, this is leather wrapped. It has a little bit of that piano black, has a little bit of this trim. It looks like the fake gray wood trim with aluminum piece, very nicely designed. But here, check out the seats. They are probably my favorite seats. They're super comfortable, they're very nicely designed. This is kind of that old style seats. Now a lot of manufacturers are moving away from leather. I think this is real leather that Mazda is using, and it's super cool. It's perforated in the middle, it's solid on the side, really great color combination, and I can't wait to get and see where the magic happens. Well, let's listen for the sound of the closing door on this Mazda. It's pretty good. I think I'd give it like 6 out of 10, which is above average. And then the front door is designed the same, obviously, as the rear, nicely leather wrapped. Now you have your window controls, mirror controls, lock and unlock feature. It does have a Bose stereo, and then you have some little bit of storage right in the door, as in the map pocket right here. Now check it out, the same two-tone interior. Love it. Actually love the interior design of Mazda. So we're just gonna go through here and see what do we have here. Now this is the gate opener, so you can open the gate from the interior. This is the hill ascent assist. Now you have the lane tracking assist, you can turn that off, and there's a few blank buttons for other accessories that might be available on this vehicle. Check out the vent itself, nicely trimmed with this aluminum trim around it, and the dashboard leather wrapped here. This is vinyl, soft plastic, actually very nice. Let's get inside of it and see how it looks. Alright guys, so let's check out the interior of this 2021 CX-5, and I gotta tell you, I personally really like the interior of it. As far as the design, it looks simple, but it looks like everything is in its place where it's supposed to be, within reach. Everything is functional, and you know, I know some people might say, hey, it's not as modern as other vehicles, but guess what, you know, there's people who like this, there's people who like all electronics. This is a combination of both of them. Let's take a quick look. First of all, the steering wheel, multifunction steering wheel, a bunch of buttons. Basically, the left hand side on this one controls the volume, controls the media, controls the phone. So as far as you can pick it up, you can hang up on the phone, and you also have voice control for the phone. Now the right hand side that controls the cruise control, that's basically all the buttons. The top button right here, that's basically to set the distance between you and the car in front of you for the adaptive cruise control, and then the main cruise control, on, off, set, accelerate, reset, you know, all that stuff. So as far as the main instrument cluster, so you can see the Mazda decided to stick with the traditional instrument cluster. So they didn't do anything crazy, but the middle is actually a display. It looks like the traditional instrument cluster. Let me turn the car off. Okay, there you go. See, it turns off. Turn it back on. Okay, you can see the CX-5 appears, and then the middle is your, okay, I don't have my seat belts on, it's okay, calm down. You have the speedometer. Now on the left hand side you have a tachometer, on the right hand side you have the temperature, you have a gas gauge, and also in between, kind of, you have your miles per gallon, which is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's right in here. And then on the other side you actually have the range, so you can see how many miles you have before you get empty. So can we control anything in the middle screen? And sure we can. So this is your main, like a trip, average miles per gallon. Okay, you have the trip B, you have the lane keep assist, service doing 7,500 miles, compass, and the range. This is off, so this is just a plain one, and then we go back to the trip control. So basic information, but it is there. All right, so here's your main infotainment system. Unfortunately, one thing that if I have to ding it for something, it is not a touchscreen, and it's fairly close, so you could actually make it a touchscreen if you wanted to. Menus are pretty simple. You have entertainment, information, communication, navigation, and settings. These are your menu functions. And you know, as far as the info, fuel efficiency monitor, vehicle status monitor, etc., etc. You go back, entertainment, that basically tells you what's available as far as what radio station, as far as what settings are there. You go back, and here, communication, that's for your phone, navigation. Now this one is not equipped with the navigation, but it's a pretty cool thing. It says this system is navigation ready. So all you have to do is buy an SD card with the navigation installed on it from a dealer and actually have it installed. You have a full navigation system. Okay, and settings. This is the only other option in here. In vehicle display, sound settings, safety, vehicle connectivity settings. So you have Bluetooth settings, smartphone connectivity settings. Okay, configures device dependent settings including Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So Android Auto settings. Okay, no Android devices. I'm not sure if this is a wired or wireless. I tried to connect my phone, but for some reason I couldn't get my phone to pair with this vehicle. But that's it. This is a pretty quick demonstration of the infotainment system. One of the other features right here, it's a head-up display. I don't know if you can see it. I can barely see it right now. The only thing I can see is 0 miles per hour, and then the cruise control is off. but it is there, so if it's dark you can see it. Top console right here, top mirror. It doesn't have that monitor mirror, but it does have a home link assist, and then you can turn the mirror on and off as far as you know, for people that blind you in from the back. Regular lights, now those are an incandescent lights. Would be nice if they had the LED, but maybe that's coming as part of the redesign. This also has the nice sunroof in here. And does it have the sunglasses holder? Sure does. Has a sunglasses holder. Ladies or gentlemen, because you never know at this day and age. Makeup. Bottom right here, you have those two vents. I like those vents. Nicely designed, kind of very nicely incorporated. You have the piece of that trim that goes in between them. Little of that fake wood, little of this leather or slash vinyl, and the soft plastic right on the top in here. Very clean, very sporty looking. Start and stop engine button. You have your heated steering wheel, and then you have the shortcuts for your heating and ventilating system. You also have ventilated seats as part of this package, so I'm going to turn these on. I don't know why I didn't do it already. Here you go. Okay, you do have a 12-volt outlet. I don't see that this is a wireless charging on this model right here. And you have the regular shifter, nothing too crazy about it. Put it in drive, and then you can move it to the left for the manual mode, plus and minus, upshift and downshift. Let's move it back here. And as far as the modes, the only mode that's available is a sport mode. So regular mode and the sport mode. Electronic parking brake, auto hold, that's for your brakes. Okay, you turn this on. Even if the vehicle is in gear, you press the brake pedal and hold it for a second. The auto hold will appear on the dashboard, and then you can let it go and the vehicle will not drive. And this is where you control that infotainment system. So a few shortcuts. I mean, this is self-explanatory. You basically go through the menu by twisting this dial. If you see something that you like, you basically press it, that selects it. On the side here, this is your volume knob and the mute function. And as far as here, if you ever get lost in this infotainment system, which would be really hard to do, you press the home button, takes you to home. If you want to just control the media, okay, this is your media, this is your navigation, this is your back button, and you can also set your favorite button to one of the few functions that are available. Now, cup holders are right here. They're very close, they're very pushed very much back. So I mean, for me and my ability to spill coffee might not be the best placement, but okay, they are here, and they probably will hold a medium-sized drink. What else do we have here? We have a little bit of a storage, not huge. 2 USB regular ones, 12-volt outlet, and a little bit of a coin holder right on top. That is it. That is the interior of it. I'm about to take it for a spin, but I want you to just take a quick look and see the aesthetics of this vehicle. Now, leather, very nice, very soft, very comfortable. Doors, I mean, it's a pleasure, honestly, it's a pleasure to be in this car. It does have the Bose stereo. One of the things that I should mention, I can't test it out for you, but I did test it. It sounds absolutely amazing, and we're about to take it for a spin to see. Well, guys, I'm ready to take this for a spin, but before I do that, let's talk a little bit about what trim levels and what price levels are available for the CX-5. Now, this particular one is one of the more expensive one. There's actually only one trim above it, because the one that we're sitting in, it's a Grand Touring Reserve, which is the GTR basically version, and the only higher level is the Signature, which is the top of the line. The other trim levels are Sport, which is the basic one, and that starts at about $25,000. Touring, it's about $27,110. Carbon Edition, $28,955. Carbon Edition Turbo, So that's the difference with the engine. 30,760. Grand Touring at 30,560, and Grand Touring Reserve, which is this more limited edition model, is this one, starts at 35,385, and with the few extra option that this one has, it's about $38,000, and then the Signature is at 37,505. So definitely in line with like the RAV4 CRVs, Tucsons, etc. The Nissan Rogue as well is up there, you know, as far as the top of the line version. So let's see how this vehicle handles. I'm really curious. Honestly, I haven't driven this car other than from the end of this parking lot to the location that I'm at right now here at Ed Howard Mazda, and so I don't know how it handles on the road. But we're gonna take a look at a few things. The one thing that I want to check out, as always, is pay attention to the rear view camera. It does have it. My only complaint about this would be to make it bigger. Now the quality is decent. It does have some of the cars have it because it's covered, so it has kind of that fisheye effect, and it shows the top of where the camera housing where the camera is installed. I would like to see the 360, not because I'm like a gadget snub, but because I think it's a great safety feature to see the surrounding of the vehicle, to see the trajectory line for the front of the vehicle as well for the back. Now, the lines do not turn with the car, so that again would be another thing that I would like to see fixed. And also, manufacturers, if you're listening, why not make it all screen? Now you have all of this real estate, just make it display on the entire screen. Okay, well, let's turn it around. I don't have painted parking spots on this lot, but I'm gonna turn it around and see how tight it is. Okay, we're gonna do one more donut in here. There you go. It is pretty tight as far as that. I would say that it's probably about 4 parking spots. That's about the standard of what I've seen with these vehicles do. I'm gonna tell you one thing that I really like about this car is the climate control, how quickly it cooled down the cabin, as well as those ventilated seats. It really helps out, especially in the 90 degrees plus. Let's check out the handling. Right, so if you noticed, I didn't really hit it just to check out the acceleration. I wanted to see how the smooth acceleration is. We're gonna get to that point, so don't worry. I'll be able to check out the acceleration on this vehicle as well. So overall feel of this car is really nice. Great visibility. You sit up high enough without sitting too high. Cornering as far as the visibility of the front hood, not bad. There's a little bit of a blind spot in the back corner, but most of the vehicles have it, so make sure you use your mirrors, make sure you use all of the devices that you have to help you out with the visibility. We're going to make a quick U-turn, and that's where I'm going to check out the acceleration and see how that drives. Okay, now we're in the sports mode, so well, I gotta tell you, that's definitely the power to weight ratio is completely different than on the CX-9. I like that sharp, crisp acceleration. You can here, even though it is a 6-speed automatic transmission, you can see those gears are tuned perfectly. Feels more like a sporty car than an SUV, and that's very distinct about this vehicle. So no wonder they sell a lot of them. No wonder it's so popular. As far as that handling, I'm gonna give it a big thumbs up. Overall, there's a few things that I really like about this vehicle. Now, sitting on the interior, it's one thing. I love the way that this vehicle is designed from the interior. It's awesome. I think it everything is where it should be. That's a plus. The quality of the materials, definitely very high quality materials, a lot better than some of its competition. The bad things about the interior is it doesn't have as many gadgets as the competition. It's not as advanced as some of the competitors. So on the exterior, I mean, it's fairly simple exterior on this vehicle, but it's very functional. It does what it's supposed to. The lights are nice, they're sporty. I think, you know, it is due for redesign simply because it hasn't been redesigned in a while. And so overall, I have to give this vehicle a thumbs up. I would give it a big thumbs up if, you know, there's a few other things that were available on here. But overall, it's a nice vehicle, great handling. Great job, Mazda. I can't wait to see what the new design is going to be for the new CX-5. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like watching this type of videos, consider checking out the rest of my channel. I post twice a week, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.